All right, so we have a 1957 Ford F100. These are kind of a 1 year only. 57, 58 are kind of, they have a lot of similarities, but 1957 has its own grill. It's different. It's actually really hard to get a good one. He actually had a 1958 or 9 grill on it, so when they went to the double headlights, they thought that was super cool in 1960s or something like that. When they changed the grill, they put the double headlights in it, but actually it's less cool today. So to have the 1957 grill in it is actually awesome. Bought a couple of them, finally had one that looked good enough, and it's out at the chrome shop getting re-chromed, along with the front bumper, which is actually hard to find, but it's a nice, clean, solid front bumper. This is a chassis that we worked with Porterbuilt on. It's one we sell on our website, so you can get it for your 50s to 60s truck. We've got the exhaust vent all out of stainless. We've got our tanks that we sell to fit. Since this one has a solid floor that actually doesn't raise up, I wanted to be able to access the fuel cell by being able to drop it from the bottom. And so we planned it to go in that way versus having to remove it and try to then get the fuel cell out. Most everyone designs them just to sit in, put your bed on it, you're done. But if I'm putting it in something where I'm going to mount it from the bottom, a lot of times you can ask us for the brackets to be loose, and you could weld them on yourself if you can weld aluminum. So that's another thing. So 1957, two-tone, red, white. Of course, when you're picking red and white, the question is what color red and white, and trying to find that proper red color and white that go together, that blend really well. This is like 5 different kinds of reds we tried, and same with the whites. We tried different whites that would make sense. In here we've got a Gen 3 10-speed automatic Coyote motor in here. Now, we've got our custom headers. We've also got a radiator we sell on the website. We've got our overflow for the radiator, and we've actually got the intake built. It's off at powder coat. If you look at these motors, the Gen 3s actually are not as attractive looking as the Gen 2s or 1s. You used to have a cover, this was covered up, but now they've got you know, the high pressure fuel pump because it's direct injection, and so it's a little bit different, but they're squeezing more horsepower out of it when they do that. So we're actually working with a company right now where we're designing our own cover that will go on these. Hopefully in a couple months we might be ready to launch those, but allows these to be open and help cover some of this stuff up and maybe knock a little of the ugly off. And so, but it's a process, so something we're working on. Very cool. You can see we've got these little black, it's a thick washer that these black stainless steel bolts go in, those button heads, and they kind of sit in it. I don't really like putting them on a washer because I find that they can slide around on the washer, but if they can sit into the washer and a little bit thicker, then they all kind of look the same and they self-center. So I like these a lot. We sell those on our website. This is all original stainless steel, new windshield. This is all new glass, new back glass, but again, all original stainless steel. So the truck, it's an original big back window, not common, definitely almost impossible to get the stainless, but he had it and we saved all the clips. We didn't lose anything, which is sometimes happens. We're not very far away from being done. I'm actually cutting the wood bed out at my other shop, and we're doing a quarter-sawn red oak. So red because to tie in with kind of the red and white, quarter-sawn because I want that vintage look. And so the red oak is, the boards are wide enough, and so we'll have that super really straight grain quarter-sawn red oak, and then we'll put a nice cool finish on it that will tie in really well. We got the door handles, we got these components here. We're just we'll install all those when we get a few more parts. We got a steering wheel here and a few things. We just gathering up some parts before we get back on this so that we're not wasting any time. We've already got the upholstery, seat, door panels, all that stuff's already been done. So I think 2 or 3 days, once we have the wood bed, they're waiting on me. Once I had the wood bed all done and they're ready to go, 2 or 3 days, I think we got this thing put together and off to upholstery for them to get the carpeting finished, put the seat in it, and then you know, go drive this thing, do some tuning on it. So pretty excited about this. This will probably be, well, the only 57 out there with a Gen 3 10-speed auto that I'm aware of, but probably one of the nicest 57s that I've ever seen, with a very, very beautiful chassis, stainless steel exhaust, like everything is top of the line on this thing, and it'll be really, really cool to have this thing completed. So a couple other little things we can show you. So I'll have to look and see. Oh, they're over here. So these are the gauges we actually did with Classic Instruments. And so this is actually designed to mount behind your factory bezel. And so check that out. So the bezel will actually cover up this chrome beauty ring, but you'll be able to purchase this piece right here that'll hold standard gauges and mount it behind your bezel, and then the little window that's left over, because the gauges that they make are too big for the 57, and Dakota is the only one that makes an actual piece that will work. But the problem is there's nothing that's real vintage or classic looking about the Dakota digital ones, and so this guy wants to be as pure as he can, obviously minus the motor and drivetrain, because he actually wants to go somewhere in it. And so we had these built by Classic Instruments, and I think they turned out pretty cool. So another thing we designed, I'm gonna really piss people off because I come out and touch stuff. They don't like me coming out of here and getting in their stuff. Is we've got these pieces that we have made that the vents will go in here and then will mount under that. I'll show you, come follow me. So this will be something that will mount right here, and then we'll have the little pods right here, and there'll be some in the middle and over there. So this is something that we made here in-house. We 3D printed this, and you know, we got the little nutserts in here, and then this will get mounted up under there, and then the little pod will go in here, and then everything will look streamlined and clean. So we'll probably end up making these, once we've got all this hooked up and verify everything looks good, we'll end up making these available on our website with our 57 to 60 AC kits that we're coming out with. So you'll be able to buy these and have those just easily mount right there. So we also made a couple adapters where we 3D printed this piece where we got extra ports, and we can kind of come off and tie some things in right there. All right, I think that's it. So 1957 F100, it's gonna be beautiful. In about another month, we'll do the final last update before we start doing test driving on it. But I know the guy's super excited to get it. It's been in his family for a super long time. And I think it's maybe a grandfather or his uncle. They actually used to haul a horse inside the back of this bed back in the day. And so the bed was a little wavy, and we had to really kind of get a come along in there and try to pull things back and straighten it out and get it nice and straight. And matter of fact, even when we got this thing, it had like a 390 motor somebody put in it, and he was pulling it off the trailer, and I guess there were no brakes, and he couldn't get it in gear to stop it, rolled it right back, smashed the back end of it, and so it's a much different truck today. It's super awesome looking. So pretty excited to get this one running. We've never done a 57 before, so this generation was a little bit new for us, and so we've had to go through that creative process to come up with all these little things. But come over here, a couple more little things I'll show you. Actually, go around the other side, open that door. So you can see the Restomod AC system right there. And then you can see we've got all the electrical wiring in here. And do you see this right here? don't know if you can see that at all.
Yeah, we can.
But everything's labeled, so those are our grounding blocks. So all of our grounds terminate in one spot. So if you need a ground, it goes here. And then we label it so we actually know which ground wire it is. And so it makes it a little bit more useful. So he's got it grounded, he's got the metal, you know, scraped off down to the bare metal and got that bolted in there so we get a nice ground on it. So everything's been, you know, thought out. Like here's the Resto Mod. We actually ordered these without the knobs so that we could actually put our own knobs that look like the more vintage style right here, and we'll put those on here so they actually look and tie everything together so it looks as accurate as we can be. Our AC, I'm sorry, it's actually not an AC. What am I thinking about? Talking about AC. But our Gen 3 ECU will mount here. We've got a bracket we've designed for all this that protects the wires and plugs in. So this will mount right there and hold the ECU box right there. So we will follow back up on this in maybe another couple of weeks and let you see kind of as it's coming together, and we'll let you hear it run. So I'm excited about this one. I know this is kind of a shop favorite right now because we haven't done one of these. So with that, stay tuned. We'll get back to you again.